Snarf. What's up? What's up? Once again, we at it again. Facebook going over the book of Enoch, keys of Enoch, the book of knowledge. Get it if you can. Once again, it's an advanced study, but a study nonetheless. If you're ready to, to break down different things of, the Anunnaki and all that crap, not crap, but all that stuff. But I'm trying to work in here with what works for us. What do you need to know so that you can get to the next level? What do you need to know so that you can progress within yourself? All right. We went over through things yesterday. We talked about how they replaced the word age with world. So if you do that, now you start to realize that there's certain ages. Each zodiac has an age. I went over all that. Thousands of years to add up to 25,000. The precession of the equinox. There's a book called The Celestial Fire. It talks about the precession of the equinox and what it means. Get it? But we're just moving on from where we left off yesterday in the book of knowledge, Enoch. But before we start, as always, a little song from yours truly, invoking all those entities, all those energies that's in us.
There's always risk for worthy rewards. There's always twists, flaws you can't afford. Spirit gives lips when the presence is born. Like pride is swift when the truth's aboard. If you're lost in the mist, jail you're headed towards. Living is a gift of love and life you absorb. Not a hand to a fist, use your vocal cords. Watch what you wish when you're idling bored. Not a science mixed with faith in the Lord. To determine which of the chosen are called. Don't scratch the itch with your money paw. Get in and fit and learn from what you saw. It's easy to quit, fight to be who you are. Destiny's a hard hit, but you can reach the star. Your body drug and sick with memory scarred. Know the legend tip, without you can't go far. Power from lip like liquor to bar. Take small sips, don't crash your car. The mental's equipped with street radar. So the taskmaster's with us, he can't burn off. Our gravity, our gravity. Our gravity, force unescapable. Our cosmic styles more capable. Our cosmic styles more capable. Our gravity, our gravity, our gravity, force unescapable. Our cosmic styles more capable. Our cosmic styles more capable. It's tough to care, living in the streets. Pain's tough to bear, heart and hearts don't weep. Paper relations tear, feelings get beat. News report the fear, but you sow what you weep. Pills, cigarette, and beer set a foe to defeat. Citizens can't share, Obama bails out the lead. Street guns and welfare, New World Order must speak. America's drug affair with TV, not truth, you see. Melody booms and snares, the rhythm of rhymes I speak. Love and science is where, get mental rest and sleep. Gravity draws your hair, science unique, complete. Crowds start to appear, lyrics and ears meet. Freedom fighters. Congress troops prepare. If beef you breathe, fire, earth, water, air, heart and black hole heat. Third eye focus clear, warnings you heed. As community share, all kids we feed. Education minds flare, program to succeed. Add faith and prayer, not to follow but lead. Like a black panther, your flesh, breath and bleed. Positive righteous soldier, our minds combine creed. Positive righteous soldier, our minds combine creed. Freedom fighter, gravity. Marcus Garvey, force unescapable. Frederick Douglass, Langston Charles unescapable. Martin Delany, Thurgood Marshall, Huey Newton, Clarence 13th Act. Those are just a few. Freedom fighters, of the fallen. But I remember you.
All right, my peoples. Oh, before we even get started, we got Miss Desi, oh, our co-creator, uh, high, what is it? My gravity, my mentality, the high gravity mentality. I always love hearing this song. That's what's up, Des. I love hearing this song. She just said, so we just now getting back at it, y'all. Going over the book of knowledge again. It's just me, so we gonna rhyme through it. I'm gonna show it, how it was presented to me. This is the crystalline sphere. Those spheres represent pyramids, and you can see the pyramids within them. All right. So what are we going to talk about? We're about to talk about the importance of the pyramids. The key. So the key is, this is key 4. The key to the living biophysical, astrophysical universe are the living light pyramids, capital L light, meaning consciousness, light pyramids of life, capital L life, existing within every structure, within every field of creation. This is basically a blood crystal structure. It's breaking down the blood and where the consciousness actually rides in the blood. Yes, your blood is conscious. That's where the consciousness is in. It's in the movement of the blood. That's why everything, when your blood gets sick, your body gets sick. All right. The cleansing of the blood is vital and important. If you need a blood cleansing, you can use white vinegar. Just drink half white vinegar, half water. Drink that for the whole day. That'll clean everything out. Clean your whole blood system out. Water and vinegar. But that's another story. Let's keep moving. All right. So it's saying the keys of the living biophysical, bioastral universe are in the living light pyramids of life, existing within every structure, within every field of creation. Physical creation, spiritual creation. All right. It's talking about everything. So it's letting you know that these pyramids we see on Earth are not just a representation of physical things on Earth. It's also a representation of what's going on with the Earth. As far as the Earth being a body, these same pyramids are in our blood. It translates consciousness, but let's keep going. First, Enoch is telling us that each level of evolution has a pyramid of light through which the human creation must pass through on its way to greater creation. If we go beyond our 3-dimensional set of creation, we must go through a 3-dimensional field of energy into a multi-dimensional field of pyramid light energy, conscious energy. So what are we talking about? We are just in one level, one frequency on top of others moving forward. Don't think of this world, of this life, or this creation as by itself. It is connected to other creations above us and below us. All right. The problem is we've been taught this religious motif that keeps us trapped in this. Oh, this is all. This is it. You only live once. Oh, this, that. All right. And Enoch is telling you, he's starting off at the second key, letting you know that not only must you have an open-ended mind, meaning you must be open-ended to what is out there, what is true. You can't be closed-minded to what can happen or what you can do. You have to be open-minded. If you can't be open-minded, then you can't get any of this. None of it. Sounds like noise. All right. But he's saying each level of evolution has a pyramid with it. This pyramid coordinates the consciousness upon the planet. When the planet gets to a certain level of consciousness, they move to another level or they go to the next level of evolution. All right. So if we're going to go beyond this 3-dimensional physical construct, all right, we must go through a 3-dimensional field of energy into a multi-dimensional field. And this is when we're talking about, once again, the new heavens and the new earth. All it really is a new level of consciousness. So we don't need the old things in the material realm no more to function. We're going to be at a higher level, a higher energy level, a better body, a better physical, spiritual body. But let me keep going. Therefore, each pyramid of light is synchronized with Yuhei Wavhe's eye at the center of the pyramid. This is where you got the eye at the center of the pyramid. Why is this important? because this is a cosmological constant. It enables every realm of intelligence to be reprogrammed into a higher level of creation when they go through their pyramidal energy field of creation. Thus, the pyramid, the eternal programming of Yue Wavhe's eye, that's that infinite light, is there with you at all times and is working at every level of creation. So the higher you, the soul you, your highest self is always with you. It's going through everything you're going through. Every pain, every joy, every tear, every laughter, every child, everything. Cops pull you, everything. All right. The issue is it has a way to get out of every physical calamity that you may come across. But you got to trust in self. You can't trust in the mayor gonna get you out. You can't trust in your daddy because he rich. You can't trust. None of that means nothing. Only thing means anything is you trusting you. And your energy is enough to do what Jesus said. What is it? St. John's 32:10. Didn't I say ye are gods? And you will do more than me, better than me. Why? Because we'll be connected with what's going on here and now. Let me keep going. Here we go. The pyramidal structure, what I was just showing you, that blood structure, the crystalline structure, all right? If you look at the blood crystals under a electron microscope, you'll find the shape of the pyramidal fields in the crystal forms of blood. What you are seeing is the Merkaba, which connects the key pyramid so that the light, consciousness light, can be used in the unfolding of the next stage of evolution. So you're always on the next stage of evolution, because this is a continual process. Remember, I told you, there is no ceiling. We keep going up. It's a vortex of consciousness that you keep gathering as you get back to yourself, the real you, the highest you. But it's very hard to recognize when you got to eat, when you got kids, you got a family, you got a job, you living in the streets. It's tough if you're in survival mode. So you got to get to the point in your life where you're done surviving and you're going to start living. It's key. You will never get this in survival mode because it wouldn't mean anything to you because you're too busy trying to survive, getting your next meal. But I'm saying trust in self. Trust, not only self will have you in the best shelter, eating your best meals, living your best life when you look and reveal what's in self and you go by self, the highest part of you. You know the part. It has nothing to do with looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. But let me keep going. All right. All right. All right. So Enoch explained to me how the brotherhood of light, conscious light. Now, this is a light that is conscious. So it's a mental, it's an internal consciousness. It's in the mind. It's something that's out there, just like the infinite and eternal mind is out there. We got to tap into it. How do we do it? We do it through our thought process and how we use our light and love right here, right now. Enoch explained to me how the Brotherhood of Light established pyramids in certain planets on this solar system in relationship to Saturn, the key planetary table and density level of other forms of intelligence operating within our solar system. So not only, well, here we go again. It's letting you know that astronomy is important. Astrology is important. All these different things that may be abstract are not. They're one thing that used to build our science. This is what we've lost. We've been so fragmented, so divided, even in our religion and our saying, all the religions saying the same thing. There's a God, and God did everything. And through God, you can have everlasting life. I'm saying even something better. That God is in you. All you got to do is activate the powers in you. You ain't got to talk to no shaman, no preacher, no spiritual person. You ain't even got to listen to what I'm saying. You can just go inside yourself. That's where the energy and the power is. But let me keep going. To determine the successful consciousness, worlds can accept physical extraterrestrial guides, which will nurture the God level 0 growth to God level 1 status, thus completing the pyramid at the God level 1 status. So where we're at right now, we're at God level 0. No contact with anything. Any type of extraterrestrials that come down here are thrown down here. They ain't coming down there to help. They coming down here because they got thrown out in the higher heavens. They want to continue to try to manipulate as this whole scheme, this age, not this world, but this age plays itself out. So, but what is this growth? The growth can occur many times using the same planetary sphere to evolve many species for existence in innumerable worlds. So when we leave this world, this age here, we go to other worlds to keep evolving. This is just the beginning of your evolution, or should I say your involution, the conscious state of acquiring more energy, more consciousness, more awareness, more love. All right, let's keep going. Human intelligence must be initiated into the pyramidal function of light before they can advance to the next ordering of evolution, the next conscious time cell. Man will see then that he is a co-citizen, a co-participant of star kingdoms, which are part of the cosmic pyramid, which is surrounded by the crystalline sphere separating this universe from other universes. You could look at the crystalline sphere as the firmament. You ain't going nowhere. No one's coming down here to save you, and no one's coming down here to destroy you. They can't. Everything is under a plan of perfection. All right. The Sphinx symbolically represents the face of the thinking spiritual intelligence, which can move in and out of our solar system and show us how to leave behind the solar evolution of the lion and become one of the sons of light. Capital L light. What are sons of light? Elohim. Everything ties back to each other. What are Elohim? God. What is the God? That's the gods in the Bible. And even though they try to say God, the original translation is Elohim, and Elohim is plural. Gods. Gods that had what? Physical form. So everything that we talk about that created in the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh. That was before physical form. There was no objects then. There was no light, no darkness. It was only the realm of darkness. And not darkness being bad, but darkness being consciousness only. No physical form to it. No shape, no depth, no color, no width. Just pure consciousness. And that's what birthed all the light. That's why the light came from the darkness. We've been, once again, lied to about what darkness is. We think in darkness. We're born in darkness. Where do you think the light bulb comes on? Bing! It comes on from the darkness. When the darkness, the energy and your thoughts have been so penetrating and concentrated that it causes a reaction. That's entropy, the electrification of matter, or the thought mind matrix. Entropy is this physical body that decays in age, but it doesn't have to. Once your mind becomes centropic, then the body must follow. You won't age like everybody else. You won't ache like everyone else. You won't get sick like anyone. All those things will be foreign to you because you're into you. But let me keep going. So we just said we must leave behind the evolution of the lion and become one with the sons of light, the Elohim. These spiritual vehicles of light will once again come down in the community of the righteous. Now, once again, these are metaphors. These are saying it's going to come down within your mind. All right. What is going to happen? These grids, these pyramidal patterns that are in us will receive the vehicle and we come as a capstone of light, capital L light, conscious light, activating the centers of consciousness. This is the process of transforming human evolution to co-participate into higher evolution. It's just on the other side of that veil, higher evolution. All you got to do is push through this physical. Turn your back on what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. All right? So, thus, the Shekinah, or the mother's universe, transform the building blocks of intelligence out of the sea of the eternal to go into the presence of the Father. What is the sea in the eternal? That's that darkness. 93% of space out there is dark. 7% has light. That sea of the eternal, that darkness out there, that cosmic dust that we're made of, 9 ether to the sky, hair to the sky. That's cosmic dust is what we're made of. Our skin used to be green, just like the plants. That's a whole nother story. The mother's universe or the Shekinah universe is the substratum for the universe of the sun. The sun's universe consists of programs of creation and evolution directed by the paradise sun, spanning different life combinations of intelligence through gross matter to pure light. So it's letting you know how we're going through a period of gross matter, physical form, to pure light. But even when you dream, you're still in the body, no matter how high. And these bodies are just more purified. That's all it is. Right now, we're in gravitationally trapped light. That's what this matter is. That's all it is. But if you think right and you get your mind right, then your heart can weigh lighter than a feather. Because now you're experiencing a spiritual, you're experiencing the electrification of matter, synthropy, which is more powerful, which can heal everything in you. Doesn't matter what's going on. Because synthropy is coming from the infinite and eternal. It's a taste, it's a download. This is what they don't want us to know. All right. And these universes are part of you. All right. Let me keep going. So then the Father's universes consist of universes, each having a creator God who sustains the eternal unfoldment of the divine thought form. The Father's universes involve the celestial architecture for the Lord, for locations of the throne and dominions, the seats of government. These seats of government dispatch the commissions of the paradise sons and the Elohim's lords of light for the creation of worlds in the lower heavens, us. So it's letting you know all these. This is a whole government, a spiritual government getting broke down, different layers, each having autonomy to do what they want to do, but each knowing that there's a superior plan. So it ain't just one. It's the multitude, the many and the one, which makes the perfect plurality because everyone's on the same page. Perfect unity, but many within the unity. All right. The seats of government dispatch the commissions of the paradise sons and the Elohim lords of light for the creation of worlds and lower heavens. And it is only by the order of the Father's universe through the magistrate who sits in the council of the thrones and dominions that the fallen paradise sons and the fallen angelic hierarchies can be redeemed. So it's even talking about a plan for those that have fallen. There's a plan. You got to get down here and get right. But it's tough because now you're in the physical. You want shit. You need shit. Physical is going to say, hey, do what you got to do to get what you need for you. Ain't worried about nobody else. So you got to have that spiritual mind. You got to keep what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good at bay. Don't be a diabetic. We call them the sugars. Most people out here are 85, 90% of them are diabetics. They on the sugar hard. They think there's nothing else but sugar to eat. That's how bad it is. All right, let me keep going. In order to put man into the building blocks of pyramidal geometries, triangular coordinates in the pyramids of light, capital L light, we have the key. This key is the consciousness of light, synthropy, the electrification of matter, specifically in material function. Light, conscious light, not just light, conscious light, being the highest amplification of synthropy. So your conscious light, the way you think and process the love of higher evolution, is the highest form of synthropy. What's synthropy? The electrification of matter. That's your thoughts. That's why what you think you are, because the energy of your thoughts trickles down into your physical body, what you think you are. I said it yesterday. If you speak into a drop of water, this is an experiment they did. You speak into it, I love you, I care for you. Oh, you're so respected. And you speak good into the water and freeze it, it'll come out into a beautiful crystal form, like a snowflake. But if you speak anger, I hate you, you're this, you're ugly, you boom, it won't even be a crystal. It'll be some type of deformed figure. So it's letting you know that everything, your thoughts, your energy, what you say, what you think, how you feel, everything is affecting everything. There is no isolation. The only isolation is in your mind. Let me keep going. In order for man to put into the building blocks, in order to put man into the building blocks of the pyramidal geometries, the triangle, the triangular coordinates in the pyramids of light, we have this key of consciousness of light. So the key is talking about the consciousness of light, capital L light, what we just talked about, centropy. In our mind, light functions as measures, microwave amplifications by stimulated emissions of radiation. All right. Basically, it's coming from, you're taking something from the spirit realm, which cannot be seen, and moving it into the physical realm, which can be seen, because that's what thoughts do. This is projected through the photoneurons, which are a quantum mechanistic corpuscle of light working by means of photon amplification. All right, they getting a bit technical in it. Basically, they're saying as your mind functions, even though your thoughts may not have material form at first, they do carry weight. They do carry length, width, all right, color, volume. The more you concentrate on it, the more you make it so. That's why it's so difficult. If all you think about is cars and clothes and physical things, all your thoughts are materialized into trying to get that. But that don't leave you open for spiritual communication. So you can't be in a world and not of it. You're in this world. You're doing what everyone else does. Let me keep going. All right. The physical scheme of creation is one in which centropy cradles entropy in as much as the broader aspect of defining and relating matter and energy as perimeters of a single A and G. So basically what they're saying is death is surrounded by life because there's life all around it. The infinite and eternal is all around us right now, but we just can't see it. It's the squaring of the circle. 360 degrees in a circle represents the decay, the entropy, where you can die, but you don't die. Only thing that dies is the material, and consciousness, your conscious light is reborn again into another body. But even that is surrounded by what you would call heaven or everlasting life, because centropy surrounds entropy. So there is no such thing as death. Entropy is a created mechanism for us to feel physical bodies and life and death ages. That's why we age. It's just a term of time of how long we're going to be down here to experience this physicalness and what we need to do and what we need to learn. All right, let's keep going. Thus, centropy is the fundamental relationship with the quantitatively cataloging all matter-energy interaction and interrelationship. So the positive aspect of centropy is love. Love. Because you can bring energy from nowhere through love. And that nowhere comes through your consciousness of wanting to do. Love. Man must consider himself a part of a larger ionized field of intelligence operating as a part of these interrelationships. Yet since he is more than a host of linear unity of centropy as in an energy potential for converting centropy to zero, meaning reaching a point of pure energy. So even now we can concentrate our centropy to become as high and higher. Right now, he can break the matter energy construct through certain forms of mind expansion, meditation, astral projecting, out of body experiences. These are all things of mind expansion, letting you know that there is other things going on besides what you can see. In fact, your sight only sees 3% of the light spectrum. 3. Stop relying on that shit for truth. You ain't getting none out of it. All truth is on the inside. These principles show that the universe is rebuilding itself as it's breaking itself down and is cataloged into new geometries of consciousness to continue the time cell of higher evolution, of higher creation and or lower creation. All functions of the electrification of matter, entropy, as well as the decay and the negative spin of energy, entropy, bring space, time, and matter through a pyramid of light as the dimension of energies conversion, whereby the mind reaches out to the luminaries. This process allows physical man to leave behind the laws of entropy and join the unity with other intelligence who exist on the other energy fields of creation, serving the light, capital L conscious light, letting you know other creations are right on the other side. We just can't get to them because our minds have been programmed that we are all this is it, that we are not a collective group like Star Trek, or you can even go that far. There's humans, but right now, because of the frequency of the Earth, and we are a cancer cell right now, unfortunately, and we have it's this melting pot is allowing negative entities and positive entities, powerful gods and powerful demons, all the good and bad to be right down here all at once to see what's gonna shake free, who's gonna break free from this bullshit, who's gonna see the truth. Who's going to just follow what's going on? So everyone is playing their part right now. Don't get it twisted. Everyone. Something happens to you, everyone in front of me is playing their part. It's up to you to know your part, what you're a part of and what you ain't. Let me keep going. This evolution from the physical body of creation to the higher intelligence involves a deeper understanding of life as a multidimensional evolution where individuality doesn't count, only the continuality of the human species. This means that all 7 chakras must first be working in perfect harmony and complete alignment with the template of light, the 8th chakra, connecting the overself, working with the Christ body of light. Not Christ body as in Christ as in a physical person, but Christ as in a Christ energy, an anointing, a messiahship. These are things that are happening in you. And once man has gone beyond his physiological limitations of self, what you think you are, and desires only to serve his fellow creation and the Father, he has purified himself from the carnal predilections or the carnal thoughts and manifesting enough love, capital L love, significant to receive an outer garment of light. That's your body of light that can help you travel through all different types of creations. Because now you're a proven citizen after you broke free from this physical shell. Because this is the hardest place for the spirit to function. The most difficult is in these meat suits. Because they demand so much. They want so much. The emotion is so strong to stay in here. All right? Let me keep going. Through this assimilation, man becomes cosmic man who can freely participate in other forms of cosmic creation. Come on, man. I can't make this up, bro. This is what we're supposed to know. All right? And this is what? Key 4. Now we're moving on to key 5. You see the fire letters, the Hebrew fire letters, key 5. The key of our astrophysical time zone is in the 3-in-1 alignment of the conscious forces in the Great Pyramid with the 12-in-1 energies of the time warp pyramids centered and controlled around the many and the one throne energies of Orion and Pleiades. Now we're about to get into is to see why you keep seeing the same goddamn stars at night. Over and over again. We're supposed to be traveling through space, moving through shit. We shouldn't be seeing the same stars and constellations over and over again. This is why, because we're in a fixed plot. All right, we're in a fixed place. So let's go through it. Let me keep going. This key is speaking directly of the consciousness in programming. It is telling us that the conscious programming is connected to the Great Pyramid. The conscious forces of the Great Pyramid are cued with specific star points, which are working with planetary time warps. The geophysical time warps of the Earth, with its meridian drawn according to the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, we note that these areas on our Earth's magnetic fields, as well as the solar flares caused by the sun's celestial movement, meet at a certain energy point or vortexes. What are we talking about? All these solar flares and shit we've been seeing, all that is a part of this next change that we're happening. We're moving into a whole nother new Earth and a new heavens. We're not caterpillars, not caterpillars. We're not what are we? Moths. Well, caterpillars that are about to change into a butterfly. We're not going to come out back as a caterpillar again. All right. We're going to come out as a butterfly, totally new, different. This is what's going on right now. All right. All right. And if we consider the star field as giving some mapping of where the Earth's biosphere as a watery prism stands in relationship to a given star field, we will understand why the ancient Egyptians and the Great Pyramid was aligned with Orion, was aligned with the constellation Orion. These are the central threshold controls of the region of positive programming used by the Elohim, Lords of Light, capital L, to connect the many galaxies to our Father's universe. Within our galactic quadrant, these thresholds control the are necessary in coordinating the celestial navigation between universes. Thus, the energies of Orion, the central threshold command, and the higher beings of light move across the waters of the deep. They're calling space water, the waters of the deep. What are they talking about? They're talking about, just like we said, the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, where the draconians or the negative forces try to control shit. Here's where the programming comes from. The positive program comes from Orion and Pleiades. Orion be the spiritual, the mental, the infinite mind aspect, where Pleiades being the physical body, and how the different bodies, the epikinetic body, the electrokinetic body, the overself body, the Adam Cadman, which body you'll be in to go and do what. All right. We must understand that Pleiades is a cluster as one of the key centers for procreation of light, or propagation of light, meaning the development, the birthing, having different species, things of that nature. Pleiades is the measurement for all key time clocks, all astrophysical temples of measurement. These are the time clocks of Earth that are located in the magnetic grids and focused in the pyramid. Earth is controlled by a great geomagnetic energy spoke, and that each energy spoke has within it 12 energy spokes of interconnecting at certain points of the Earth's star field. These 12 spokes are also the 12 cranial glands around your pineal gland. Representing the 12 would represent your zodiacs, how you move through the zodiacs, but you represents the center of the clock, at the center, moving through the zodiacs as you go through this age. All right. Enoch explained to me how the Brotherhood of Light first sought to upgrade intelligence upon this planet eons ago. That the first attempt was recently took place during the Telka Mercan Desert, where the civilization of Ta was evolved 36,000 years ago. It reached over a vast area of a man called South America. Great cities areas were built and seeded with great technology of the heavens so that man could directly call upon the name of the Lords of Light while living in bodies that were of great light and of light conscious molecular destiny. So while we were even in these physical bodies, we could use our spiritual gifts. After this experiment ended in disaster, with the people of light intermarrying with the falling offspring of the Lords of Light, another experiment was generated in the area now known as Atlantis. So once again, they tried to come down. They came down to try to enlighten the people. What happened? It ended in disaster. Why? Because you have the people of light, the ones that were down here trying to do the righteous thing, intermingling with the fallen Elohim that came down here to do what? Do their thing, not the Father's plan. So what ended up happening? It ended up in disaster for the people of light intermarried with the fallen offspring of the lords of light, the Elohim, the ones that were down here creating people in the Garden of Eden, talking about don't be no other God but me. These same beings, these same gods, did another experience which generated around Atlantis. This, however, ended in failure due to the mixing of the genetic codes and the factors of light by the fallen access lords of light, who used their crystalline technology to bring about great civilizations of light into war and destruction. The last attempt in generating the higher intellect of people took place during the time of Egypt, about 6,000 years ago, when the great people of Israel, with a higher capacity of spirit, were implanted with an upgrade the people of the world by bringing a message of the living light and the kingdoms of light to all nations. So they tried it again. What did they try to do? They tried to upgrade again. We're going to bring this spiritual science. All right. But what happened during this? We already know what happened to the Egyptians. They were attacked by outside factions that wanted to steal and rob, and came in, burnt the pyramids, the Library of Alexandria, where all the science was, stole all the knowledge, used it for themselves, and now they're ruling over us with our knowledge. Don't get it twisted. They ain't created shit. Everything they got from us. The Moors ruled every acre of earth, brought civilization to all of it. This is all documented. You just got to get out your own way and stop only taking what they're giving. So, in order for us to understand the present cycle of evolution, we must understand how the Brotherhood are still connected to the pyramids of Egypt. There's a continuation of the Joseph, Moses, Jesus in the initiation or the initiation into the governing of special species, the Israelites, who were the pyramid builders of consciousness in the name of Uawave, excuse me, to lead the nations of man away from false gods from this world as a gathering of the 12 sparks in the Brotherhood of Light. Egypt represented the mathematical, astronomical, pyramidal functions of the earth. All right. So Israel represented the spiritual capstone of light, exemplified by the Brotherhood of Israel, who received the 10 Commandments while traveling through the Geo-Pyramid of the Sierra Peninsula. Now, we already know the 10 Commandments is bullshit. That's part of the, 72 negative confessions. And that was all going on. So when they start talking about that, hey, this is where you start to see where man has had his play in things. But let me keep going. When humanity can find spiritual Israel within, and the knowledge and the alignment of the great pyramid without, then he can place the capstone of spiritually freedom upon the foundations of this world. Remember, you are the world. They're talking about you. You can be free. You can see. You can move into next realms. All right. Enoch explained to me, mankind opens the pyramidal sphinx, this conscious doorway, this third eye, this spiritual, the pineal gland that opens you up to spiritual experience. When man explained how when man can open up the pyramidal sphinx and use the conscious meridians which connect the 12 energy vortexes of the world to the pyramidal sphinx, he will have reached a threshold where energy vehicles can return and take mankind to the next evolutionary station. What are these 12 energy vortexes? These are the 12 cranial nerves surrounding your pineal gland. When you activate, the pineal gland can be activated and those 12 cranial nerves activate. This is what shoots out that milk and honey, that substance of godness. This is what causes the kundalini to function. When it hits and it opens up your pineal gland. That's all they're talking about. Inner things within you, not without. So before you can understand anything that's outside of you, what you see, hear, see, smell, taste, you got to know what's going on the inside, because it's only a projection of what's going on the inner you. All right. All right. So goes on. So the magnetic fields, where the Great Pyramid is built on such a point where the magnetic fields under the earth, those on the surface of the earth, and those on the celestial fields are all crossed so that the fields of alignment are direct. These magnetic fields are aligned through areas of magnetic energies which mark the points where energies from outer space pour into the Earth's surface. These areas are balanced off on the by the Earth on the Earth by the magnetic north and south pole. And at that time, tremendous solar flare movement. At this time, tremendous solar flare movement bombardment. These magnetic points of the Earth and the fields of the Earth will be set into cataclysmic imbalance, spinning the Earth shell to a new magnetic meridian, which finds their balances on the equatorial, meaning the equator. And that's going on right now. You hear about it right now. The magnetic poles are shifting. Things are happening. This is all part of the plan, baby. Ain't nothing happening that we shouldn't know about, but all this stuff is hidden from us. Everything they talking about, it's been in the book of Enoch for thousands of years. It's just that you haven't been privy to it. All right, let's keep going. Higher intelligence is coming into the ocean through the Pyramid 5 energy transfigurations of the Bermuda Triangle and making use of the ocean shelf, which is there from a previous Atlantic age, preferring America to become the new Atlantis. Why America? America is already, we are part Egypt. We got pyramids like they got pyramids over there. Remember, we were all one landmass. So they try to make America like it's separated, like it wasn't part of the grand whole. It is. That's another story. Let me keep going. These areas, okay, so the new Atlantic centers will be activated by the Bermuda Triangle, the Great the Great Salt Sea, the Jerusalem Hebron, which are all already known as the pyramidal areas by higher evolution. These areas will be used by the Jerusalem Command from Orion to open up the chambers of the earth and provide a shifting of consciousness to the Americans, the next home of the dove, as the Father's program shifts from the Middle East to the Middle West. Uh-oh. No need to be afraid of anything. Don't let them fool you. All right, let's keep it going. It's talking about da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, so it's talking about, at this time, the Great White Brotherhood will come to take its own seed, the 20 million years ago, and plant it into the seed crystal within the galaxy. At intervals of every 6,000 to 12,000 years, the celestial lords of light gather cultivated seeds of evolution left on the original atomic guardians who were activated to direct the program, progamy on Earth. So not only just saying, just like the Aztecs left without a trace. Hey, what happened to them? Yeah, they reached a certain point, a certain age. They ain't need to be here no more. It's all a conscious game. If the earth as a whole and our consciousness reaches a certain enlightenment, we get all types of help from all types of beings all over the universe. But who do we have in charge? We have people that aren't spiritual, but this is all part of the game, this end game. Right? It's all that melting pot. What's going to break free? Let's see what's going to break free. They will be delivered. We will be deliver their seed and the seed of the other nations who wish to be coded into the galactic tree of the living light in the paradise mansion worlds of the Father. Those who accept the Christ seed, the Buddha seed, the Muhammad seed, the Zenoism, any of the lords of light, will have within them an active channel of light, capital L, light consciousness that will allow them to function as an atomic race upon other planetary worlds in other universes. The world they will inherit will depend upon the maturity of the soul, the way you use your love and light, and the way you have allowed the light to function within them in the service of their fellow creation. The Galactic Command will be able to take the physical creation, energize its body into the atomic structure of the Great White Brotherhood, no matter of what race or group, the crystalline fields of the the 12 Thurim will be opened, will be cleansed, and the scroll of Revelation says, and we will be one with the great white throne in the midst of the earth. So, boom. What are we talking about? It's talking about the ascension. It's talking about the new heavens and the new earth. Some people are going to some heaven, some earth, some people are going to different. We ain't all going to the same place. It all depends on how you use your love and light, the soul's progression. What did you want to get? What did you learn down here determines where you going to go. All right. And remember, now we're talking about constellations, Pleiades, Orion, the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper. We're talking about astrology. We're talking about astronomy. We're talking about all this. All this is part of the science that we're supposed to know. All one thing that has been separated, fractioned, and broken up. And hopefully I can bring some unity to it. All right, the next one. Chapter 6, my last one for today. Our universe was created out of light synthesis of the next universe, the Pleiades, the creator, the cradle, and the throne of consciousness. So it's talking about the different functions that these zodiacs are functioning, why they're there, why you see them every single night. I'm in Florida. I see the same ones, everything around. Orion rises over my house every night. Big Dipper rises every night. Why are we seeing them? Why are they so constantly there every time? Like they don't move or shift. This is why. Enoch explained that our local universe has a triangular light core of 10 million years within a surrounding veil of 20 million years. Now we're talking about what the scientists want to call the lifespan of our sun. All right. The biological testing zone surrounding the core or the central sun is known as the collab. Both the local physical universe, one spectrum of our local universe, and the surrounding biochemical testing zones are superseded by an invisible world of negative mass. That's that 9 ether. That's that darkness of space, triple stage darkness, which shapes the atomic nucleus and is used in the building of the physical energy systems of our visible universe. Where does light come from? It comes from the invisible world of negative mass, which shapes the atomic nucleus and is used as the building of the physical energy systems of our visible universe. Thus, the physical universe proceeds out of the worlds of negative mass, which is used for purification of trapped light. Entropy, that's trapped light. Matter, that's trapped light. So it's saying that there's a plan for us to move off of this matter, this trapped light, into a new phase, a new energy. From these codes, the Elohim, lords of light, same Elohim in the Bible, and Orion created the formation of negative mass, which is modulated or changed by the thought forms of the lords of light into the creation of physical universe, of mass evolution. What are they doing? They're creating more physical beings with minds that have a body that can think, that can sin, that can be in glory, that can be spiritual, that can be programmed. All right. But once you find yourself, the inner you, there is no more program. Programming is done. That's why they try so hard to get you when you're a kid. All right. So allowing some forms of starseed evolution to unfold into forms of light continuity. Thus, physical light proceeds out of mass evolution. Orion also shapes the higher astrochemical wavelengths of the central sun, which are not created by negative mass. Moreover, in these higher creative functions, there are madrigative arrangements of patterns for an astrochemical destiny in the heavens. So it's saying that you not only are you here in the physical, you're also in the heavens at the same time. All right, whereby Pleiades and Orion are cooperatively used in the programming of the life synthesis from pure light bodies of Orion into the transfigured corresponding physical bodies of the Pleiadic programming. So Orion, we are in spiritual form. conscious beings in a body, but in a spiritual body. But Pleiades allows for us to have this physical form. All right. Pleiades represents the key physical procreation. It represents the galactic beginning of the physical atomic household. All right. Remember, I told you before, when you come down in these meat suits, it's tough knowledge, the inner knowledge, which creates the spiritual powers of Christ. That title, that anointing, that energy that comes with it. However, the pre-physical garment of light, which is needed to embody this higher light consciousness, comes from Pleiades. Pleiades also gives us the light garments of the negative mass, which shapes the physical spectrum of the many who are called. Between the two are the rational minds, which derive their mental energy from the lower heavens and call power unto themselves. They prevent the physical spectrum of the many who are called from receiving the spiritual gnosis, the knowing of the spiritual powers of Christ, the Christ energy. In this evolution of the local universe, there has been many fallen planets that have claimed for themselves an eternal inheritance of the Father. So they're talking about how we're not the only fallen planet that's out there. But he's also saying there's been many of us that have claimed that inheritance because we woke the fuck up. All right. However, Enoch tells us in this key that the Adamic race as a family of God has to come into the physical form from Orion and Pleiades. Thereby, Pleiades is both the true cradle, the seedbed, and the throne codes to support the pre-existing consciousness of light, conscious light. The cradle is where the conscious seed enters the physical room of space and time through the few who are chosen by the throne, allowing those who are of the physical seed the opportunity to graduate into other universes of higher thrones and dominions. Therefore, Pleiades is considered the foundation of the harmony of creation. However, many who are called must go through the Madrid of other kingdoms before they can enter as a pure thought, pure energy into the kingdom of light, conscious light. That is, until they have reached the state of divine non-evolution. So we're going to get to a point where we don't even evolve anymore. And we're still evolving, but it's a divine non-evolution. This is how high we can go, y'all. We're just at the very beginning of the step of this. This is what we shouldn't be doing. This is what we should be concentrating on instead of worrying about what movie we're going to see. And so, you know what I'm saying? Instead of worrying about what we going to go out, what we looking like, what wig we putting on, what makeup we doing. This is what we should be worrying about. Where are we going in the next realm? But, you know, we got caught up in what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good. What we gonna eat next? What's going next on television? What music concerts coming out? What football, baseball, sports shit is coming out? None of that ain't got shit to do with your evolution. They're distractions. They're distracting you from what you need to know. And this is what you need to know. Let me keep going. This key speaks of the celestial image of God working through the brotherhood of light in Pleiades and Orion. The celestial origins of the brotherhood of light as used in the planet. The chosen of this planet who successfully served the species qualified not only to put on the higher self body of light, but are also given the knowledge of how to use the codes of biochemical creation on this planet to mutate a species capable of carrying the consciousness light into other creations. For this reason, the people of Israel were created. Okay, this is why the people of Israel, this is why these physical creations like planet like Earth are being created, because we're destined for greater and greater things. This is the jealousy that other species felt because of us. This is why. All right. Had nothing to do with favor. It had to do with what we were capable and the power we are capable of and how far we can go where others cannot. All right. What does it say? We find in the scroll of the Ascended Master Job that the Lords of Light in Orion and Pleiades are continually rejoicing in creation, setting boundaries, opening up the channels of light, bringing down the 12 star systems of the heavenly light, measuring the worlds with weight and measures of the light of Orion. That's that zodiac. That's that your heart has to be lighter than a feather. All right, let's keep going. All energy is carefully weighed and measured before it can be taken out of the scales of space and time. Job saw this drama and how his sons and daughters were taken in and out on the levels of creation. And when we become the family of God, thoroughly furnished to do the work with the Father's plan on earth, we shall be united with the shepherd and begin. And together we'll go through the gateway of the Big Dipper and rise to the level of the higher star intelligence. In the end, as a family of God, as a living family of God, we are seeing opening of the stargates of the Big Dipper, Pleiades, and coming down in the Merkaba. During the new eon of light, there will be a judgment of the earth and a release of the sun from its circumpolar spiral. What are they talking about? That circumpolar spiral is that entropy, death and decay. It'll be released from that and it'll go back to its original, infinite and eternal. No such thing as death. All right, I'm just trying to help you out. This ain't me, this from the book. All right, the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper are the thresholds gates of the lower evolution in opposition to Pleiades. At the end of time, we will see the war of the heavens and the coming of the host of Michael. They will free the planetary intelligence from the influence of the Big Dipper and Little Dipper and the negative influence of the controlling root races on this planet Earth. Okay? Whatever else. What else? And in the formation of this local universe, the fallen lords of light imitated the blueprints of the sacred star groups. By initiating their seeds into the star regions of the Big Dipper and Little Big Dipper, these star systems became the midway stations controlling the negativity on the planet Earth. Midway stations are just passway where you have to pass through to get to one level or another. That's a midway station. Get to one level of creation to the next. The next evolutionary orbital level of creation works completely with the Brotherhood of Light and not under the Big Dipper or Little Dipper, but under the direction of Orion and Pleiades, the central sun and the central in threshold of the central sun or the central galaxy, the distant star universe. Intelligence in this distant universe are called upon not only to judge the earth, but to also judge the gods who reign in these fallen stations of the sky. We too are on the threshold between the spiritual powers and humanity. We are called upon to judge the angels who have been cast into our dimension of space during the cleansing of the sky, fulfilling the words in Corinthians, whereby do you know that you shall judge angels? So what are we talking? We're letting you know how powerful we are. Okay. Why we've been down this rabbit hole. All right. How the spirit of the energies is in us. All right. Moreover, this key of the seven thresholds of light speaks of the wars in the heavenly spheres between the spiritual powers and higher places for the control of the Zoar races, the highly spiritual races, which contain the codes of the Adam Cadman. Why do they want the codes of the Adam Cadman? Because that is the body we are destined to have. When we put on our Adam Cadman, we can move freely through conscious time zones, through universes and galaxies, bringing the word and the energy of the Father wherever we go. They want to capture that. They want that power. All right? That's the Adam Cadman. You can look it up. Adam Cadman, Kadmon. All right, you can look up Zoar races. That's in the Urantia book. Urantia, Urantia, Urantia. All right, look it up. These are all books you can find what they're saying. Not that just one book, but there's collaborating evidence on this. Let me keep going. The three types of man: clay man, who has the ability to evolve within our realm of creation, are largely governed by the fallen chemistries of this physical universe. Clay man, that'd be animal man. That'd be a man that was generated or made down here from clay, not from a soul, not from a spiritual body. All right. Their fallen chemistry, they are largely governed by fallen chemistry of this physical universe under the fallen influence of the Big Dipper. So these are the Elohims chose to make these beings because they knew they could control them. And they're under their influence. Obviously, oblivious, these beings are oblivious to the higher orders of evolution. They don't even know about anything higher but what they're told. This is it for them. This earth, what you see is what you get. They live by it, and that's all they know. That's one species. Then you have the rational people who serve the mathematics of the circle pearl areas of the Little and Big Dipper and think of themselves as gods. So now they done came down and convinced these spiritual and convinced, nah, you God, you control all this. All this you. They don't give power to you, then you kill them and smote them. All right? Think of themselves as gods only as the mythological manifestations of the 12 signs of the zodiac. So they're trying to act like they have some type of power using the zodiac signs and things of that nature. Keep going. Then the last one, the few who are chosen to work with the Lords of Light, the spiritual people who look to the Pleiades as the Big Dipper in conjunction to the stations of Orion, where Michael, Metatron, and Melchizedek with the 144,000 lords of light administer unto the sun's universe in the name of the living light, you, hey, wav, hey. Then you have us spiritual beings that are down here just trying to give you this light. Because the words I'm saying ain't nothing but light, energy. Because when they manifest and they get within your mind and your spirit, they blossom. All right? So, offering to the Father, the offering to the Father in Orion and Pleiades was dramatized by a special mathematical symbol showing how the seven chakras could work together in offering up the divine breath, the spirit. When the seven chakras, our seven organs, all work together. What's the divine breath? The Kundalini energy, activating all seven chakras in unison. This special offering in ancient times is symbolically coded in the seven bulls, which have the star face of Taurus Orion, and the seven rams, which have the star face of Pleiades. From Pleiades will come the cross redemption through the image of the Lamb of God. The Lamb will be seated upon the throne of God, and he will carry the sword of light, which will behead the energies of the fallen sons, all those who shout blasphemies against the Father, the Paradise Sons, and the Holy Spirit Shekinah, and the Father and the Sons, and the Mother. All right. All that's saying is going to kill all this death and decay, all this entropy, all that energy is about to die. That's all it's saying. It's not even dealing with real life and death like consciousness, because that's the real life is your consciousness, not your body. But it's going to kill this death and decay. You'll go to a realm where you no longer have to experience death. All right. Keep going. Let me see. So Pleiades and Orion give the mathematics for every chemical sacrifice required in Earth from Genesis to Revelation. Pleiades and Orion. So we need to start evaluating and study what is Pleiades and Orion. Start evaluating, start studying it. All I'm doing is giving you things you need to investigate so you can become more powerful in yourself, because these things are in you. These energies are in you. Pleiades and Orion give you the mathematics for every chemical sacrifice required from Genesis to Revelation. And at the end of our program, or this age, or this world, all the same words. Those who carry the image of the Lamb will be separated from those who carry the image of the bear, the Little Dipper, and the Big Dipper. The fallen spiritual powers controlling the old linear astronomy of the Babylonian sciences, forcing man to do homage in lower heavens. With the great rushing and Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is now, the Lords of Light will return the consciousness of the overself to our human consciousness, allowing us to break through the biological chemical shells of this earth, surrounded by the negative mass. That's why the evolution will not be televised. Why? Because it's going to be a conscious awakening. We're going to regain our power and we're going to move off this shit willingly. Ain't going to be no death in the way that they describe it. We will be gathered into the air to meet with the Lord. This will allow the body vehicle to be judged in both the terms of the world as well as the affinity with the world's higher spiritual consciousness, the world of the Christ over self body. Why will we be gathered in the air? Because we will no longer be bound by gravitationally trapped light. We'll be in our spiritual bodies. And if you're still in your physical bodies, you won't even be able to see it. That's why it won't be televised. You can't see it. We're on a whole new realm. Just trying to let y'all know what's really real out there. Break this fantasy and these life and death and hell and demons and devils and all that bullshit. Let that shit go. Stop believing and start knowing. Those who worship the beast through their astronomy and astrology of the lower heavens and by their mathematics of graven images of light are returned to the beginning to begin their conscious cycle once again. So even those that refute the plan, that don't want to move on, even those that refuse love and light, they just get recycled their conscious back to the beginning and they start over again. Still don't die. And this time they'll have a better leg up on everyone else because they've been through it once before. See what I'm saying? Father's plan is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We will see Pleiades in the terms of the organic seed of the spiritual people of the Christ race. Christ race being the anointed race, being the Messiahic race. Has nothing to do with a person. It's an energy. And we will see the Pleiades in the term as the greater sacrifice of light, capital light, the consciousness and cosmology. Why is it a sacrifice? Because you're taking this great power of consciousness and squeezing it into this little ass physical body. Now you're going through what we would call death. We think this body is ours, so now we think we're dying. We think we sick. It's crazy. The sixth key then allows the higher lights of our to modulate or to vibrate the physical universe, which is controlled by the force of 666, so that the pure light of the masters working with 777 principal star systems in the cluster of Pleiades have the power to materialize a new heavens and a new earth, so that the former things will not be called to mind. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. I can't make this up, bro. I'm just trying to give you what I can give you. All right. This is day 2. Things are going to go quicker after this. Start moving through this stuff. But I'm going to read it again. The pure light thought forms of the master working with 777 principal stars in the cluster of Pleiades have the power to materialize a new heaven and a new earth, so the former things will not come to mind. At that time, the liberated body of the germatalia, that's another body of light we put on, will go beyond the 7-7, combining and connecting the lower biological creation to become one with the Christ germatalia of the 888. No end to this. Keeps getting bigger. Thus liberating the body, thus ascending into higher infinite throne worlds of the Father, the many mansions which are liberated to reign with the Christ energy. This tremendous power of the Godhead in the name of UAYV resurrects with the kingdom, resurrects even in the kingdom of darkness. At that time, the Spirit of the Lord will no longer strive with man, and the heavens of the central sun shall be revealed to the righteous sons and daughters of the Lamb who stand in awe of the throne. And with the greater wisdom of the central sun, the righteous shall walk with God as Enoch, and God shall wipe away all the tears, and they shall put on the crown of light, capital consciousness, for they shall become the Lamb who has faithfully carried the cross of creation unto salvation. Woo! Talking about you when you leave this realm, when you graduate from this physical. That's your glory. That's what we should be talking about. Next, we'll be going into key 7. The key name to enter into the presence of the throne light, the pyramid, is Metatron. Still, we're going to go through more constellations. Talking about Pleiades and Orion. I'm going to skip over a lot of that. But we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about the Sphinx and the frequency, the pyramids. Why are the pyramids and the Sphinx and these constellations so important? Because it's getting you back to your original knowledge. This is why you see them at night all the time. This is why you pay attention to this shit. Because it has a higher meaning. And saying that, we didn't go this long, as long as we went last time, but a good hour or so, hour, 15 minutes. But it was a good, powerful hour, 15 minutes. So remember, all this is coming back to you. All this energy and this power that I speak of is in you. You just have to activate it and find it. Peace, love.